Hello Math 7 students. We're going to talk today about solving equations with combining like terms. So you'll notice that we have an equation on example 1 where we have 36 equal to 11x minus 5x. The first thing we want to do is rewrite the subtraction. So I've gone ahead and rewritten the subtraction, making that 11x plus negative 5x on the right side of the equal sign. Now what I want to do is I want to see what I can do on the right side, and you're used to equations with two things being on the same side as the variable, but you notice if you follow the advice that we did in last week, we circled the variable, but you have two variables here, and that means you actually have two like terms. You can combine 11x and negative 5x to give you 6x because they're like terms. You're adding the coefficients 11 plus negative 5 gives me the 6. And now I'm down to a one-step equation where I've got 36 equal to 6 times x, and I want to undo the multiplication part of me by dividing both sides by 6. That gives me 6 equal to x, which means x equals to 6, and we're going to put that in set braces. Let's do the check. So I've gone ahead and I've written the original problem, which is the first line of our check, and now what we're going to do is plug in the value that we got for x, which was 6, and 5 times 6, and then following order of ops, I'm going to do both multiplication problems in one step. I'm going to do 11 times 6 to give me 66, and 5 times 6 gives me 30. Doing that subtraction, I'll have 36 equal to 36, which is what I want. Now let's take a look at example 2. We've got 4p plus 10 plus p equals 25. No subtraction to rewrite, so we can skip that step. The second thing you'll notice is we have three things this time on the left side of the equal sign, which is an indication that we have some like terms we can combine. P alone, let's add a coefficient of 1 in front of it, making this 4p plus 10 plus 1p equal to 25. And then what I can do is combine my like terms. I've got a 4p plus a 1p, that gives me 5p plus the 10 equal to 25. And you may notice that now this equation looks like a two-step equation where we've got two things on the left side. We want to undo the 5 and the 10. The appropriate thing to get rid of first is our constant, which is 10. In order to do that, we're going to subtract 10 from both sides. These zero out. I get 5p on the left side, and 25 minus 10 gives me 15. We're going to undo the multiplication in between the 5 and the p by dividing both sides by 5. So p equals 3. Let's put that in set braces and let's try a check. So first line of the check is always the original problem. Then I'm going to plug in what we got for p. We got 3. So 4 times 3 plus 10 plus 3 equals 25. So that's my plug-in line. Following order of ops, I've got to do 4 times 3 first. It's multiplication. Then I've got plus 10 plus 3 equal to 25. 12 plus 10 plus 3 gives me 25 equals 25. Check mark, you're done. Now let's take a look at example 3. We've got this time no subtraction to rewrite, but still three things on the left side of the equal sign. That tells me two of these must be like terms. Negative 22 is a constant, but we also have another constant of plus 6. So what I'm going to do before I even start this problem is I'm going to combine negative 22 and 6 to give me negative 16. Now I've got the 3k plus negative 16 equal to negative 28. And I thought I would get through a whole video without an interruption from Tessa, but I was wrong. Okay, so now we've got 3k plus negative 16 equal to negative 28. We've got a two-step equation. We want to get rid of the negative 16 first because he's our constant. To do that, we could subtract negative 16 from both sides or add 16 to both sides. Let's do that step here. That gives me 3k, these zero out, equal to negative 28 plus 16 gives me negative 12. and we want to divide both sides by 3. So k is equal to -4. Put that in set braces. And let's try the check. Got my first line of my check here, the original problem, -22 plus 3k plus 6 equal to -28. I'm going to do my plug-in line where I plug in what we got for k. So I've got -22 plus 3 times -4 plus 6. Doing my multiplication first, I've got -22 plus -12 plus 6. And adding left to right, this gives me -34 plus 6. And that gives me -28 equals -28. Now, the next part of the notes, I want you to try this. So the first thing you're going to do is you are going to rewrite the subtraction. Do that now. And now you're going to find your like terms and combine them. Now that you've done that, you should be solving this two-step equation by getting rid of the constant first. And finally, you're going to get rid of the coefficient in front of the r. Try a check. So you should be getting -9 equal to -9. The next one I want you to try completely on your own, and you're doing each step and then checking with the Edpuzzle questions on the right of your screen.